Alright, so hopefully this is working. Picking up audio. 'Cause sometimes it just plays up. Oh, Havana. We're going to
Ready for battle.
Havana. Not Little Havana. Oops, that's the wrong button.
Ready for battle.
That's speed. Okay. Just trying to get acquainted with this. Okay, so we're looking at Allende and Egg playing. And I have been asked to take a look, and I haven't done this in a while, so I decided to have some fun with it. Life Weaver. And we have Ilari. So right here, especially with Life Weaver, I mean, I'm not sure if you wanted me to give commentary or if you just wanted me to watch. But one thing that I will say, I mean, I'm not a Life Weaver person. I will say this first. I'm not a Life Weaver. I don't even play with Life Weaver. I feel like I've played like one match and I just died a bunch of times. I'm not very good. And I also want to say that you're a good Life Weaver. So this is just my take on my style of play. I believe that with the sustain that Ilari has here, with these two healers, Ilari should be really taking care of 95% of the healing in this exact spot. And what you should be doing is spamming the damage on the left side over there with that line of sight, that crazy line of sight damage that you have. You should be spamming headshots at head level to whatever. I can't really tell what character that is right now, but you should be really emptying clips, trying to get a cheeky kill with the power that Life Weaver possesses. This is just my take on it. I haven't. The match has not started. Obviously, I don't know what's gonna happen, but that's just something that I feel like should be done, especially with the type of game that Overwatch is now. But again, that's just me. I'm sure you're gonna do a great job. Anyway, I won't pause often, only when I notice something really, really big. Let's continue. Dash. Reinhardt overextended way too much. Good. Good. Yeah, the only mistake so far is that Reinhardt overextended. Great use of the platform. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Yeah, exactly what I was saying earlier. Yeah. Yeah, you know what you're doing. I don't have to tell you. You know what you're doing. Wait a minute. You guys have two tanks. So do they. It's funny that I didn't even notice until right now. So you guys are playing just open queue. Okay. So obviously that changes everything because I'm thinking about the mindset of Overwatch 2, just one tank. I didn't even notice that. I probably should have. With two tanks, there's definitely going to be a need for more healing, yes. So disregard what I was saying, and also you listened to it. Or not listened to it, you did what I was saying, so great. Yeah, everything's great so far. I can't tell with the replay if you were putting a ping on the McCree, but that's something definitely that, you know, ping any character that's out of position. It's much better than saying their name and saying they're behind, because that could mean anything, right? If you ping them, it's like you already know where they are. You don't have to say anything. Good stuff. Good stuff. That bastard was really coming after you. Wow. Damn. Anyway, yeah, that was a good sequence. So you had two really good pulls, a lot of good assists. You sustained the fight. You know, if you guys had one more character, if you guys had one more source of damage, I feel like you could have taken the fight. Nice. Good stuff. There's something I will say before I forget, because it's something that I must say. I am really liking your use of line of sight with your healing and your damage. So this is something that I was telling you about the other day, that I feel like it goes unnoticed a lot, because whenever we say, oh, somebody's good at this game or somebody understands the game or whatever, we're not really talking about like we're not talking about specific things. We just say like a general sense of, you understand game sense in a really really positive way. Like, this is why when you play an off tank, you know what you're doing. It's because you understand what the healers are doing, and you understand Life Weaver is a character that I mean, I don't practice with them, whatever, but your line of sight and your use of the map's geometry so far in this match, like halfway through this attack, has been really good. And I just want to point that out because you know how to take cover. You understand in this match so far, and for the most part, when a fight should be disengaged and when it should not be, right? Because just because you're a character down or even two characters down in this game, it does not mean that the fight is lost. In most cases in this game, in my opinion, it is really hard to tell when a fight is actually lost. It's not like in 6v6, you know. In this game, tanks have so much power. The tank is still alive. You can still get a team wipe with just a tank and a DPS character. You can, and it's happened so many times. So I just want to say that your game sense in this match has been great. Your line of sight usage has been great, and your use of cover has been awesome. Oh, that's a miss. That happens to me all the time with D.Va. I always fly right to the edge and I fall down. It's like, ah! Honestly, that platform seems a little bit tricky. More of that map awareness right there. Good pull. I feel like that was a good trade with that pull. You saved, yeah. It was a good trade-off. I mean, you won the fight, so, like, obviously it was good. Good pull. Great game sense. That's not as good. That's not as good either. Not much you can do about that. Kind of a wasted ult there. It's not on you at all, obviously, but that would have been a great time for like one of those aggressive get out of the fucking fight pulls, you know? Nice. Oh no. Yeah, definitely there. I feel like, especially with the Ashe, you have to like really be weary of her line of sight. That's one example. Like, yeah, maybe take a little better cover, but I mean it happens. You die in this game. Not gonna be perfect. Ooh, that's rough. I thought you were gonna pull, and he was gonna stop behind him with his shield. I thought that was gonna happen. I think I might have restarted the fight. Damn it, I don't know why I did that. So that button restarts the whole thing. Okay, well I know that now, so I guess I can just talk while I find where we left off. I will say that that last fight was a little that was I mean it was a little messy because like those fights are always messy. Yeah. Good target priority, good sustain. I guess we'll just do this. It's actually pretty... that gives me a headache. So I'll just do this. Yeah, those last push fights are just a little messy, and I mean, like I said, good sustain. I can definitely say that I trust you with my life with this character. You understand what the character is for, and you don't pull needlessly, so that's really good. Oh, is this already defense?
A little care always helps.
No, this is still tech. I don't like the replay buttons on this. I'm just gonna have to do it like this. No, this is gonna take forever.
You're annoying.
I wish it wasn't like this, but what can you do? I wish you could just pick like what part of the max you actually want to go to. I accidentally pressed the center button, thinking I could check the stats, and it reset the entire thing. Oh man, that is not a good that's not good use of that button in replay mode, I don't think. I think that should be like a combination of things like how it is in Smash. Like you have to press like 5 buttons to reset the whole thing. There we go.
Round one. Complete.
There you go.
3. Switching sides.
Alright, now let's look for you
Initiating
again.
match.
I think you have to spawn it in order for me to track you. There we go.
Faithful battle.
Spend every moment growing into who you truly are.
Fighting battles at such a young age. I hope you remember to take time for yourself.
Sometimes, but I have so much to do.
That's always the excuse. Listen to your mommy.
Hello.
So, don't take it personally when I get the most kills, okay?
Listen to your mommy. Listen to your mommy.
Thanks.
I have you.
Good kitty.
Group up here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
I like the aggressiveness, but that's way too far, especially considering what your DPS is. I don't know, man. Good stuff. Nice kill.
Me. No care is helpful.
What the hell is Eva doing over there? I mean, I guess she won.
Getting worse.
Something I will say too is that your tree placement is also really good. I can't get the hang of that. I mean, I haven't tried to be fair, but I feel like I'm just gonna mess it up if I ever try it. Hey, all your pulls have been on point. You're just a really good life weaver. Good. I like the attempt there. That's what you have to do, honestly. You have to try to kill him. I feel like people just run away. I mean, obviously there's times to run away, times to not. That's one of those times you have to try to kill him. There's not a lot of cover there. you kind of put your back to the enemy team there. You should never really do that unless you're trying to run away. If you're trying to get to somebody to heal them, I mean, I feel like telling you know this already, so it's not like you don't know it, but that is why you got kills. Putting the enemy team to your back, not always a good idea. That's rough.
I walked into that one.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Rounding forth.
Same deal. Whoops. That was kind of the same deal there, because, like, really, like, at this point,
The checkpoint.
so whenever, in most maps, I feel like all maps, whenever, the payload reaches its destination, it's not going to move immediately. It takes a couple of seconds depending on the map. So right here, you have to position yourself for the next fight, which is going to take place in that corner. In some cases, if your tanks are already in front of you, okay, fine, like you could fight at the doorway and position yourself there. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Okay, we're back here. Okay. These triggers are really sensitive. Okay, so here, you definitely do not have to be the front line. You have to kind of... I know you're probably trying to save the brig, which is fine, you know, but honestly, they're probably dead because it's 5v1 against a brig there, and look at the team that they have. You know, she's not going to survive unless you pull her. You should be looking for a line of sight to pull her. That's just about it, you know. But here, if you know she's over there and all of them over there, there's no reason for you to be right here because there's nothing you can do. There's just a bunch of damage coming in, especially, you know, with their soldier. It'd be easy picking, and then trying to run away at this point, they have the line of sight by the boxes, and then he could just run up here and finish you off. He's much faster than you, so you have to keep that in mind. You know what DPS they are. This is honestly the only two real back-to-back mistakes you've had the entire time, but it's more like these are things that, you know, with more practice, you just realize when you shouldn't really be even trying to poke, because poking doesn't really do anything. So, just wanted to observe that.
Niran. Really?
I'm going in.
Your tanks are making the same mistake that you did right here. They need to know that their two healers died, and they should really. I say two tanks. We have three tanks. Those two characters you see there, Hog and Diva, they're up, and they really shouldn't be, especially since they saw the kill feed. They should have been bolting back to the you know, to the new spawn. Because what that causes is that instead of the fight being by the boxes, now the fight... Actually, I wonder, can I do that? Yes, I can, I think. Okay. I'm just doing this because it's fun. I'm pretty sure you already know where I'm going with this. Let me see. So, if you would have fallen back and met your tanks halfway, because they were, you know, Hog was at the door here, at the bottom, and Diva was respawning from the right side. If you would have just walked towards the bridge and taken cover, like, right here, or whatever, you know, like, right behind this wall so nobody can touch you, waited for them to engage, and then both you and Brig, you wait for Brig for respawn. You don't have to be in the fight. You could heal from all the way back here. You already know that. You can play with the line of sight. Theoretically, the fight can happen in this corner. But now that you have to wait for another respawn because these two guys are dead. You have to wait for another respawn. Now the fight is going to take place in the bridge. So that's losing an entire corner when you lose the fight. And again, you already know that, so I'm just trying to use the tool and just trying to express my mind here. How do I get back to you? It's a good pull. Diva's dead. Let me reiterate, I know that you know what I just said, but it's also good to visualize it for the sake of really knowing what everybody's talking about when we fight as a team, when we play as a team, when we're playing this game as a team. It's good to visualize why pulling back, why going back to spawn is so important. It's not just like fall back as in don't rush forward, because there's forward, push in, neutral, and pull back. And oftentimes pull back is confused as neutral. Neutral should rarely ever be used in this game, to be honest. But that's just me.
Its destination.
The payload is approaching its destination. And I keep hitting my controller. Yeah, so
Life protects life.
you're about to use a tree, or you use a tree here. Yeah, so I mean, I'm just trying to drive it home here, just to show visually what it is that I'm talking about. Because if a simple pullback would have allowed everybody to reposition and fight on that corner before the bridge and use their abilities, use their ults to prevent ults, to be able to, as a healer, you'd be able to sustain the fights easier. And you could, let's say they even win that fight, they might have to use ult to do it. But they'll win that fight, and then when it comes here, when it gets to the final push, half of them won't have their ults. You know what I mean? So it just, not pulling back once can give the enemy team that entire L shape of space. And that's honestly the difference between winning and losing a match. So it's just something good to visualize, and since you already have such a great understanding of the map's geometry and the line of sights, it's good to also think about those things, because that's what wins games. Stats do not win games. Like, yes, obviously if you have more kills than the other team, like, yes, and you have more heals, that's iffy. But knowing this is what Overwatch is about. And it is the difference between winning and losing. Okay, just another thing that I wanna rewatch it. Let me see. I think this is how you go back. Yes. Okay. This is where you have the tree. Okay. I kind of want to see this fight from this angle. So right here, I mean, you can tell me later on, but I don't understand why you're up there. If it's to get line of sight for the team, then you should be on the top left. I feel like, or like in the doorway. Because right there, you're not really, there's no reason for you to be up there. And the reason I'm saying that is because I want you to keep in mind for what's to happen. Another thing that's really important you know, talked about it briefly, but they have Soldier and they have Reaper. You know, you have to really keep in mind what kind of damage they have. The damage that they have, is it going to be niche damage like Reaper, where he's going to be trying flanking, he's going to try doing the Death Blossom? That's, two trains of thought you have to keep track of. Reaper is going to go after my tanks, and he's going to try to use Death Blossom. He's going to try to be sneaky. And there's two things to keep in mind. Soldier is line of sight, kind of like Bastion, right? Except he could get the high ground. Whenever there's a soldier, you have to keep in mind of the high ground. So here you have to really keep in mind, like, Soldier is not going to use the high ground here. So really what you have to really be thinking about is the tank ults, which I think D.Va just used hers. So take D.Va's out of the way. Sig's is relatively easy to get out of. You just can't be half. You need to heal out of it. That one's a little bit harder to avoid, a little bit simpler to avoid, but however does you want to see it. But the thing you have to think about is, okay, Reaper hasn't used his ult yet. He's going to try to use his ult. So there's no reason whatsoever, especially because of your character and the nature of the fight and the fact that they have this DPS, you need to not be with your team, because you have the ability to kill him from far away if your team is all bunched up. You probably won't be able to be fair. I'm just trying to make you think a little bit differently, get you to see a different point of view, and, that kind of thing. So here you should not be with the fight. You should not be with the team. You're too inside. I know that you're trying to be by the tree, but you could also be like, kind of, you could be by, you see like the winning rectangle? You could be there even, and it'll be fine. But too bunched up there. Because when he comes in, if you were back there, you could be headshotting him constantly and potentially, Zarya's beaming him, you're headshotting him, you're far away, your life won't be at critical. Your life will be fine. Your life would be completely full at that point, because look at where the enemy team is. The enemy team is nowhere near. This is just something to keep in mind. And it's, to go along with the other thing that is said about the map's geometry, keep it in mind, and, just put it in your back pocket. Use it for future reference. I know that I don't talk a lot while I'm playing. I can't do it. I can't do that. These are things that I'm thinking about when I'm playing. But this is why I'm taking the opportunity now to kind of express it with the visual. Anyway, let's continue. Like, no harm, no foul. They didn't win the fight. But that's not really what I'm trying to get at. I'm not trying to say, like, oh yeah, like the match is ruined because of one thing. I just felt like it was a good teaching moment. That's all. Let's look back at that entire fight. It's really fun seeing it from their perspective, right? Because it's really different than what you normally do. Like, let's see what the enemy did to get in here, to win the fight. What happened to D.Va there? So D.Va's getting back her mech. She's got it already. She should be in her mech right now. She should be in her mech right now. Trying to get the squish on Reaper, that's not worth it. What she's doing here is she's getting her mech, and she's doing it right in front of Soldier and Sig, who do an insane amount of damage if you can't block their damage, right? Like, they just do this. They do a lot of damage, and Reaper is on her too. Look at her life bar. I was trying to figure out what it was, and when you see it in slow motion, you really see how bad of an idea that was. Oh, jeez. Anyway, let's go back to normal speed and zoom out because this is interesting. So yeah, I mean they what is it? They kill Zarya, kill Yende when he's trying to grab. Yende, if you're watching, not a good grab.
60 seconds.
Yeah, at that point, they're just gonna win, right? Like, Diva really, she threw the fight there. She should have not done that. I understand what she was probably trying to do, but it's too cute in a situation like this where one fight wins them the match. Look how close the payload is. If the payload was still in the bridge, it's fine if you're trying to, do it like around a corner or something, but it's just simply not the situation.
Score 3-3. Switching sides.
And that's really a breakdown of
Initiating match.
that is a breakdown of what a bad final defense is, because a defense needs to be a defense, right? It was a trickle effect of things that just did not go right and things that should have been done differently. I kind of wish I had some of my matches to watch back on this. I guess I could technically do that and just watch for my mistakes, because the truth of the matter is that no matter what match you're playing, you're gonna be making mistakes, because we're not experts at this game. We're here to try to like improve. The way that I've always seen this game and the way that I've always kind of just tried to tackle it is, in the chat or even when I'm doing something like this, is kind of like trying to like change the mindset to kind of like trigger new ideas in the game. Like, all right, like how should we do this differently? If there's this kind of threat, what should we do? How should we mitigate damage? How should we mitigate healing? So it's fun to do this because I love this game. It's just really fun because it involves a lot of strategy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Escort.
Safety in numbers is better.
We're running out of time. Move quickly.
Some healing.
Yeah, that was a good attack right there. Everything was done right. It's much easier to break down mistakes and like talk about why they were made. Saying all the good stuff, yeah, like I feel like I've been pointing it out. Yeah, I mean that was just really good, and you prioritize your abilities properly. I feel like, on the maintaining of keeping up Zarya. the hell is Lucio doing up there?
Fire!
You did it that time. It's good. Exactly what I said about the Reaper last time, you did it there. So you know about it. I just wanted to point it out so you could visualize it. Also, I'd just like to point out that last fight, it was mostly because the D.Va didn't. The D.Va threw the fight. That was the actual reason you lost, but it's just. I mean, I'm not going to explain myself again. You understand what I'm saying. Very good.
I've got you in my sights.
Score 3-5. Switching sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Spend every moment growing into who you truly are.
Let's get this show on the road!
In flow. Stay close, Satya. I know how you like to get into trouble.
Something smells foul. Is it you, Rodent?
Exhaust port fan power increased by 600%.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
With me.
Wow, it just ends that suddenly, huh? So one last thing that I will say is I noticed that you also turn your back to the enemy team. Not a lot, but it does happen. Try not to do that, because it's never a good thing. Because you can't see where their positioning is anymore, and then they could just take free shots at you. But yeah, that was a good match. Good stuff. And this video's gone on really long, so I'm just gonna stop it here. But I feel like I said a lot of good things. Hopefully my audio was captured, because if it wasn't, then oh boy. Anyway, I'll catch you later.